Hey, hey, hey!
Hey.
Look what I just got! Yeah!
Texas.
Texas, this is beers for me, man.
know.
So, I have other questions for you
Yeah.
about being an entrepreneur
Yes.
in San Antonio and
Yeah.
that journey. Tell me about what you've learned and how you've applied those learnings in your business, first of
Oh
all.
my goodness. Okay. I think a big thing is I think goes hand in hand
sure,
with
sure.
parenting and motherhood, but just being able to pivot. I think being
Yes.
a small business and an entrepreneur without a lot of big overhead, that really gives you the ability to be nimble and to make those pivots. It can also be challenging to have all the resources that you need. So finding places and organizations in San Antonio and the city that can help support that is really important. There have been some, like Geekdom is a place where I've been a member for a while, and that's been
Okay,
great.
you talked about sort of a support group a little
Yes,
bit. Tell me
yeah.
more about that.
Big picture for all of us to have some sort of support group.
Personally
Our
and
friends.
professionally,
Yeah,
by the way.
exactly.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
especially as a parent, so that comes down to family. I'm very fortunate to have my family here.
Mm-hmm.
And my own mom has been a tremendous support and,
Yes.
and help with, my kids and being a part of our,
Mhm.
my support network that way. And then friends and then just other professionals who are either that you're doing business with or that you're adjacent to. I kind of grew up with the social media.
And that's what you said that's sort of what
yeah.
you've done, correct?
Yeah, and I really just started everything a long time ago when I needed a creative outlet after I became a stay-at-home mom for a time. Just showing up and doing my thing and supporting other people who are, creating their own things, creating their own businesses. That mutual respect and support goes a long way, and just fueling your own motivation when you're facing
it's hard day to
challenges.
day, right? As those
Yes,
challenges come.
Yeah, so it's hard to pinpoint, so here's the list of all the things that I've learned. There's probably too many to count,
What about the uniqueness of San Antonio
Yeah.
in that journey?
So one thing I really love about San Antonio is that it's a big, small town.
Yeah.
Everybody who's been here for a long time really knows that. I think especially in the center city, it's really interconnected. That I think plays a key part in just that sense of community just being innate here. And maybe in the small business world here in San Antonio, it can feel like there's a little bit of that imposter syndrome. We aren't Austin.
Mm-hmm.
But I think instead of seeing that as a setback or a weakness, I think that's really a strength. There are challenges that can come with that as an entrepreneur who's homegrown, organic, that didn't come with a lot of capital, that didn't come with a strategic business plan. Figuring that out as you go, everybody's actually really just doing that.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, you really started your own little industry, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was there wasn't something like that necessarily. So you didn't have something to look at as a guide.
Yeah.
Where do you envision the dog guide in 2 or 3 years?
Yeah.
Do you want to grow into something bigger, or do you like this hand, or would it be French? What do you see?
Yeah. So I've played with that, and big picture vision, I'd really love to see this network of hyperlocal communities in different cities across the U.S. I think people really value that, and to be able to recreate that experience that we have here in San Antonio and other cities would be tremendous, and I think would provide a lot of value, improving communities across the U.S., but also improving the lives of dogs across the U.S., which would just be amazing. And there's challenges to that. Figuring out the right path to get there, to reach that success. It's going to require, me facing new challenges, and that's the life of an entrepreneur. You've got to be willing to step up and face them.
That's an exciting future, though, Amy.
Yes,
That's exciting. I say I've always think it's one thing to run a small business.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
But to grow a small business is a feat.
Yes. Yeah.
Is a feat. Yeah. So, but exciting.
It is.
And it's yours, and you grew it.
I mean, we've been around for a decent number of years, and to some people that might look like we're not growing fast enough, but I think your question before about that balance between personal and professional life, I think for me, I'm really on the slow and steady wins the race game. It would be great to have that monstrous growth over a really short amount of time. But then I think that would also dilute some of the quality of what we're trying to create.